7 things that already existed 4,000 plus years ago. 1. Board games. The Royal Game of War is 4,100 years old. It's a 2-player strategy race board game. Several game boards have been found. They were put into the tombs of Mesopotamian nobles. The Royal Game of War was played with tokens. The players raced them to the end of a course. Moves were determined by rolling the dice. The game proved so popular that it made its way to Crete and Sri Lanka. 2. Beer. Beer was the most popular beverage in Mesopotamia. There were several variations of beer: golden, dark, sweet dark, red, and strained. Beer was made with the base of fermented barley, emmer wheat, date syrup, or other flavorings were then added. However, this ancient beer contained no hops. A 6,000-year-old Mesopotamian tablet depicts beer drinkers. They're drinking from a great vat through long straws. 3. Sewing needles. The earliest sewing needle was simple. It was a pin-shaped piece of bone, with an eye drilled into one. The other end was sharpened to a point. This important invention dates back to the Stone Age. The oldest needle is 61,000 years old. It was found in South Africa. The first needles were made of bone and ivory. The oldest copper needles date to around 4000 BC. 4. Literature. Literature wouldn't have been possible without writing. Mesopotamian cuneiform is the oldest writing system. It predates even Egyptian hieroglyphics. Archaeologists have unearthed over 1 million cuneiform tablets. Only a small fraction of them have been read and translated. The most famous text is the Epic of Gilgamesh. It was written around 4,100 years ago. It's the story of King Gilgamesh and his fight against the evil Enkidu. 5. Shoes. Early shoes were made of perishable materials, so there are no surviving artifacts from prehistory. However, archaeologists believe shoes existed 40,000 years ago. They examined the changes in ancient human toes. The toe bones became shorter and narrower at some point. This is assumed to be a result of wearing shoes. These were simple leather bags tied to the leg with string. The oldest shoe ever found is 5,500 years old. 6. Boats. Gabustan rock carvings in Azerbaijan depict boats. These pictures date back to 10,000 BC. The earliest boat ever found is about the same age. It's known as the Pesse canoe, after the Dutch town of Pesse. It was discovered accidentally during highway construction. The canoe was carved out of a pine log. Some skeptics said it was too small to be seaworthy. In 2001, archaeologist Jaap Boker built an exact replica. It was successfully paddled by a canoeist. That proves people already fished from boats 10,000 years ago. 7. Bricks. The Babylonians were the first to mass-produce bricks. This allowed them to build the greatest cities of the era. The first bricks were blocks of clay shaped by hand. They were dried in the sun and used to construct huts. But in the first millennium BC, kilns came into use. They produced much stronger and more uniform bricks. King Nebuchadnezzar II ruled Babylon from 605 to 564 BC. He was a great patron of the kilns. The king wanted to build the greatest city on earth, so he sponsored the creation of thousands of bricks. Many were inscribed with his name and a message of protection.